So, welcome, Visions families and staff, to the kickoff of the 2026 Curriculum Fair. We will take a peek at the agenda for this session and then take a moment to celebrate before we jump into curriculum options for the 26-27 school year. So, as I said, we're going to start with celebrations to kick us off on a positive note. And then we'll take a look at the curriculum vendor list for 26-27 before taking a little bit of a deeper dive into the curriculum fair itself and how we got core curriculum. We'll talk about that as well in the sessions at the top of each day this week, before ending in some gratitude and opportunities for input in our next steps. So to start, I have two questions that I'll ask you and invite you to share your answers to in the chat. The first is, who is someone who has helped you with curriculum on your journey at Visions? And then if you want to level it up a little bit, what is something that you love, maybe even an easier one to answer, about your homeschool academy at Visions? So take a moment and share something in the chat. Who has helped you? And what is something you love about our homeschool academy? Okay, feel free to continue to utilize the chat to capture the celebration. And I am going to move us into talking about Love It. Thank you for using those names. Beautiful. Continue in to talk about our curriculum vendors. So to begin, let's start with a little bit of definition. So beginning with our core curriculum, Vision's core curricula is fully vetted and guaranteed curricula for core.
Hey, would it be a kickoff without some adventures along the way, right? So what I was saying is the core curriculum is fully vetted and guaranteed curricula that addresses California standards and may include some materials to fulfill additional needs when applicable. So before diving into what that curriculum is in our current vendor list, we're going to talk about how we got there. So as a California public school, Visions in Education is standards-based school, and our students' personalized learning programs will address California state standards. All the way back in what feels like years and years ago now, in 23-24, if you can believe it, a dedicated team of teachers on special assignment went through every single curriculum option considered for ELA and math, identified the degree to which it met our state standards, mentioned them, or they were not addressed in that curriculum for every grade level, kindergarten through eighth. The following year, that work was done in partnership with lead teachers and principals for science and history, social science. The panel identified options for families that are standards aligned. And for one of our options that is more familiar for our homeschool families, have authored standards-based activities for every grade level so that it meets the mark. Our panel members used a rubric that looked like this. You see these colorful boxes here, and each one reviews the essential features that are outlined by the California Department of Education, in addition to the essential features from them. Also, a few features that they identified as important to our Visions families and students and teachers to see in curriculum that we're considering utilizing. But before we continue into what the list of core has come to be, I want to first make a call out to some language that we use when we describe curriculum. When looking at curriculum, a company might tell you that it's standards-based, and they might also tell you that it is standards aligned. Standards-based has a broad definition and can be applied to any curriculum. Standards alignment has more specific parameters. When you look at standards aligned curriculum, there's more weight applied to what that requires. The curriculum company may provide pacing guides, scope and sequences, or standards alignment documentation to indicate that they are standards aligned. Although standards aligned curriculum may meet more of our requirements than a standards-based curriculum, nothing is perfect, and it's important to make note of that. There are many indicators of quality curriculum that our panel took into consideration when considering our core options. So some additional key terms that we want to define for curriculum are listed here. As I shared, Vision's core curriculum is fully vetted and guaranteed to address all grade level standards as deemed by California. And there are other types of curriculum out there as well. So there's a wide variety of other comprehensive curriculum, and that word comprehensive can be used to indicate that a curriculum contains grade level standards for a designated subject area. Additionally, there is supplemental curriculum, which is designed to be used with a core or comprehensive curriculum to enhance or enrich a specific domain or some specific grade level standards. An example of this would be something like a writing program that you could utilize to address the process of developing writing as a student is building out a final product. And then exploration options are educational resources that explore students' interests, topics, opportunities to enrich, and can be tied to content areas. So a student who really loves science might find an exploration option really interesting that takes science and connects it to art and extends the learning in that way. And then, of course, we have materials and supplies such as lesson plans, student worksheets, manipulatives, and resources like instructor guides to help provide students with more learning experiences that are stronger. So with that, we will move into our curriculum menu for Vision's core curriculum. And I will start with saying there's no changes or updates to this menu. And so this may be familiar information to you already. So if you are not familiar, here is a link in the chat to our curriculum menu, which will provide you with some more resources that you can refer to related to our core curriculum. And we will start here with ELA, where we have Lincoln Learning, EL Education, and Beyond the Page. There are sessions for each of these core curriculum throughout this week that you can attend on. They are listed on the webinar menu for the curriculum fair, but they are all tomorrow morning. So if you are looking to learn more about our ELA core curriculum, you can join me back for that tomorrow morning. Okay. And then here we have our math core curriculum. If you are looking at the curriculum webinar menu, you will see these sessions on Wednesday. And we have Lincoln Learning, OUR Math, and Zern. You can learn more about them during those sessions. Our science and history core curriculum are the same vendors. We have Lincoln Learning, TCI, and Beyond the Page. And we have sessions for them on Thursday this week. Now, I mentioned before that our core curriculum comes fully vetted and guaranteed. It also comes with resources to support in implementing the curriculum. So you will see a list of the various resources that we've developed at Visions to support our families with utilizing our core curriculum. And I'm actually going to put them in the chat for you so that if you would like to click on them as I talk about them a little bit, they are all there for you. They are also all on the curriculum menu. So we have vision pacing guides to ensure that all standards are addressed during a given school year. If there is a need for an additional activity to address standards, they are linked into those pacing guides, and those are available to you. We also have Wire pages available for all of our core curriculum. And if you want to see how you get to them from the Wire, there's a session this afternoon that will take you on a little tour of the Homeschool Hub at 3 o'clock. And I invite you to join me back for that. We also have comparison guides to help with choosing which core curriculum will best support your student. And then Quick Start Guides, which is a new resource this year for ELA and math that are like a YouTube unboxing video. They take the box of curriculum and they walk you through what's inside of it so that you can see what is included with the curriculum, what materials are available, and how you might start to dig in and get started with it. So with all of that, let's talk about our curriculum for 26-27. Now, this document that you see here in the picture, although with a little bit of a glow up, may be something familiar to you, whether you're a teacher or a family partner or staff at Visions. This is typically where the decision-making process begins when people are choosing the curriculum that they'll utilize with their students. It is a robust and diverse selection of options and will continue to be so. And we will continue to refine our list yearly to ensure that it is up to date and meets the needs of our students and is within compliance for our responsibility as a school. So our curriculum vendor list, as it currently exists, represents the curriculum vendors that are available for 25-26. But this is a preview of what will be available in 26-27. Once ordering ends for this year, the approved vendor list will be updated to reflect the new approved vendor list. But I'm going to take us into it really quick and then get you the link so that you can see. So familiar format here right at the top, you'll see our core curriculum listed. And then below we'll have all of the rest of the approved vendors. You'll see that this is a wide list and these are in alphabetical order. Now, something that we did this year to provide additional support is we took the content areas and we broke them down into domains. And the reason we did this is that we hear families and staff say that they're looking for something within our options, and sometimes it can be hard to navigate when you have so many options on the list. So think of resources that may be familiar, like the Common Homeschool Curriculum documents, where you get some guidance on where you can find a resource for a specific need. We've updated this next tab to break down our curriculum to help support, get that support one click closer for you into the approved vendor list. So below our core curriculum, you will see a category of other comprehensive curriculum that we've been able to confirm address grade level standards in the content areas that are listed. Then below that, you'll see that our supplemental curriculum in ELA in particular has been broken down a little bit further from just the vendor name into some specific domains that it may be supportive in. An example of this is Heggerty. Heggerty is a vendor and listed on our approved vendor list. But you might not know that they have a phonemic awareness program that could be utilized for phonemic awareness. They also have Bridge to Reading, which could be a supportive supplemental for foundational skills. However, they also have Bridge to Writing, which is a writing supplemental curriculum. So the purpose of this breakdown is to bring out some of the things you might not know are in that approved vendor list. It's in no ways exhaustive of everything that's in there, but starts to give you some direction as you're choosing how to best support your student through the curriculum that you choose. So I am putting the link in the chat for you to the preview of the 26-27 curriculum vendor list. And I am going to move us now into what the updates were in the list. So as I mentioned, every year we update the list to ensure that it best meets the needs of our students, and also in response to any feedback that we get about what the process of utilizing vendors is, utilization of them, and ordering experience, and so on. So here you will see the list of the vendors that are being removed for 26-27. Give you a moment to capture that information. And then now the fun part, I get to share with you the vendors that are being added this year and a little bit of a highlight on them. So here is the list of new vendors that were added this year. These came from family and through a series of family and staff feedback to determine what would best meet the needs of our students in this next iteration. So I am going to start with talking about Guide Dots, which is an art project kit, and this is designed to take students step by step through drawing. And so there are projects that students complete with this little light table to kind of support them in getting into drawing more intricate drawings. Next is Innovamat, and if you want to hear a little bit more about this, we will be talking about it in the TK curriculum highlight, which is our next session today. But Innovamat is a new vendor. It is a PTKLF aligned math curriculum, and it is accessible for the educator through a digital platform, but the activities are all play-based and don't have students in the computers. It's not a digital platform, but rather just a platform for accessing the materials. So you'll see there are some videos that a family partner would play in here, and then activities that the students do with manipulatives and through play to address the math PTKLFs. And if you want to learn more about Innovamat, they actually have a session this week on Wednesday at 3 p.m. during the curriculum fair. Next vendor is Kids Art Box, and these are themed art kit boxes. They generally follow a theme of like a STEM theme or science or history, and then build multiple art projects around those concepts. Amita Spanish is a Spanish learning language curriculum for children in grades TK through 6. It includes bilingual short stories paired with themes and thematic learning of language. This name may be familiar to you. Mystery Writing is partnered to Mystery Science, and these are standalone writing units that take students through progressive activities to learn different writing types. And currently is available in 2nd through 5th grade, but will hopefully be available to kindergarten and first by the start of 26-27. Next is Prodigy's Music, and this is a digital-based guided music video channel. It kind of looks like a YouTube channel, but you get access to units of study of music and how music develops into rhythm and rhythm develops into songs. Then we have Reflex Learning, which is a math fact fluency program for grades 2nd through 6. Students practice their math skills on a digital-based platform, competing with themselves for tokens and bragging rights that they've got their math facts down. And then last one here is Toolbox Project. They have come out with a line called Family Toolbox, which is a social emotional learning line for families, designed for families to support their children in building resilience, self-mastery, and empathy for themselves and others, and is intended for grades 2nd through 6th. So as we wrap up this session, it's important to note that we take feedback seriously over here in the curriculum department, as well as input. And we have developed our core curriculum and the resources that we designed to support families and staff in implementing curriculum from the feedback that we receive and the data that we track. So there have been years and years, going all the way back to 21, 22, there has been family input on the process of us selecting curriculum and ensuring that it meets the needs of our students that are here in Visions right now. And so with that, I am going to actually jump us into a space where I have, going backwards here, a survey for you that I would love to share. And this is intended to be for families to fill out and is an opportunity for families to share feedback and input on the resources that we create for our core curriculum and support. So this came to you actually maybe just before you joined the session in the Curriculum Connection, and I'm going to put it here too, and you may see it pop up a couple more times this spring, and we'd invite you to fill it out so that we can continue to improve on our support. So here is the link in the chat for you, and I will end with sharing that you can come and see the curriculum materials in real life at the following regional events this spring. First one is this Thursday, actually at the same time as the curriculum fair. So we're going to be doing a little bit of magic there. And then the following 3 project and performance fairs as well. and the registration links for those are in the chat. So with that, I am going to close out this session. If you're joining us in the next, we'll see you when you hop over there to TK Curriculum. And thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.